1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The National Assembly was informed today that Pakistan is fully facilitating the Sikh Yatris from India to visit Kartarpur to perform their religious rituals. Pakistan has provided second consular access to the Indian spy commander Kulbhushan Yadav at New Delhi's request. The Minister for Information says 400 billion rupees construction-related projects will be initiated soon to provide ample opportunities of employment. Italy has acknowledged and appreciated Pakistan's medical assistance and role for peace and stability in the region. Pakistan has called for enhanced international monitoring and continued United Nations reporting on human rights crisis in Indian-occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir, over a dozen youths, including an elderly man, have been arrested during cordon and search operations and house raids in different areas of the held territory. And now the news in detail. The National Assembly was informed today that Pakistan is fully facilitating the Sikh Yatris from India to visit Kartarpur to perform their religious rituals. The Parliamentary Secretary for Interior Shaukat Ali informed the House during question hour that there may be reduction in the number of Sikh Yatris from India due to COVID-19, but there is no obstacle from the Pakistan side in their way to visit their revered sites. The Parliamentary Secretary said Sikh Yatris are allowed to visit Kartarpur without visa. However, they are bound to bring their valid Indian passport for immigration clearance as per the Memorandum of Understanding signed between Pakistan and India. Pakistan provided second consular access to Indian spy commander Kulbhushan Yadav at New Delhi's request today. The Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Faruqi said first consular access under the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations 1963 was earlier provided by Pakistan on 2nd of September last year. She said the mother and wife of Commander Kulbhushan Yadav were also allowed to meet him on the 25th of December 2017. She said two consular officers of the Indian High Commission in Islamabad were provided unimpeded and uninterrupted consular access to Commander Yadav. The spokesperson said Commander Kulbhushan Yadav is in Pakistan's custody following his arrest from Balochistan in a counterintelligence operation on 3rd of March 2016. She said during investigation, Commander Kulbhushan Yadav confessed to his involvement in terrorist activities inside Pakistan that resulted in the loss of many precious human lives. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting Shibli Faraj says 400 billion rupees construction-related projects will be initiated in the last quarter of the current year. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, he said a project envisaging construction of houses and apartments worth 145 billion rupees will be started on the 20th of October this year. The Information Minister said Prime Minister Imran Khan is giving special emphasis on the uplift of construction sector in order to revive the economy as well as realize the dream of disadvantaged segments of the society to own their own houses. Shibli Faraj said the Prime Minister today chaired a meeting of the National Coordination Committee on Housing, Construction and Development. It was attended by the country's prominent investors and builders. He said the meeting discussed several proposals to uplift the sector, including holding international roadshows for construction projects in order to attract investment of overseas Pakistanis. The Minister for Planning and Development, Asad Umar, says there has been decline in coronavirus cases in the country due to a nearly 60% reduction in positivity. In a tweet, he said some people are saying that cases are down only due to testing reduction. The minister explained that if positivity rate had been over 22%, which was in mid-June, the 24,262 tests carried out yesterday would have resulted in 5,500 cases, but the actual number of cases yesterday was 2,145. The Interior Minister Ijaz Ahmad Shah says strict action will be taken against those who spread disinformation regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Chairing a meeting in Islamabad today, he directed the Federal Investigation Agency to closely monitor and hold the responsible ones accountable for disseminating false news regarding COVID-19. The number of those recovering from COVID-19 continue to increase across the country, with 178,737 patients so far recovered from the disease. According to the latest statistics, 2,145 new coronavirus cases were reported in the country during the last 24 hours, taking the total tally to 257,914. Meanwhile, 40 patients died of the infection during the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 5,426. 24,262 corona tests were carried out during the period. This is Radio Pakistan. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has underlined the need for undertaking research in the fields of aeronautics and space sciences to meet the challenges in the field of space technology. He expressed these views during a presentation given by the Vice Chancellor Institute of Space Technology, retired Major General Rehan Abdul Baki, in Islamabad today. The President asked the management of the Institute to increase its outreach to the remote areas of the country, particularly with focus on Balochistan, Azad Jammu and Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan. He emphasized the need for increasing collaboration with well-reputed national and international universities in order to benefit from each other's experiences. The Italian ambassador to Pakistan, Andreas Ferraris, called on the Chief of the Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, in Rawalpindi today. During the meeting, matters of mutual interest, regional security situation, and measures to enhance bilateral cooperation were discussed. The Army Chief also offered all possible assistance to the ambassador in the fight against COVID 19. The visiting dignitary acknowledged and appreciated Pakistan's medical assistance and role for peace and stability in the region. Pakistan has called for enhanced international monitoring and continued United Nations reporting on human rights crisis in Indian-occupied Kashmir to save lives, dignity, and freedoms of the Kashmiri people. The Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Farooqi, during media briefing in Islamabad today, said the people of occupied Kashmir have been under illegal Indian occupation for over 7 decades. She said the United Nations human rights machinery in the recent months has highlighted India's non-compliance with its international human rights obligations. The spokesperson said nearly a dozen United Nations special rapporteurs have raised serious concerns over India's consistent pattern of arbitrary arrests, detentions, torture, corporal punishment, extrajudicial killings, and physical and digital lockdown in occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops arrested over a dozen people, including General Secretary of Tehreek-e-Hurriyat Jammu and Kashmir Amir Hamza, from different areas of the territory. According to Kashmir Media Service, Amir Hamza was arrested during a police raid on his residence in Lal Bazar area of Srinagar. The troops arrested over a dozen youths, including an elderly man, during cordon and search operations and house raids in Pulwama, Shupanya, Islamabad, Anantnag, Kupwara, Baramulla, and Bandipur areas. Hurriyat leaders Shabir Ahmad Dar and Mohammad Iqbal Mir, in the statements issued in Srinagar, strongly condemned the arrest of Mohammad Ashraf Sehrai, Amir Hamza, and other Hurriyat leaders and activists by the Indian troops. The Jammu and Kashmir National Front, in a statement, urged the international human rights organizations to impress upon India to release illegally detained party chairman Naeem Ahmad Khan and other Hurriyat leaders. In Afghanistan, 8 Taliban were killed during clashes with security forces at Daulatabad district of Balkh province today. According to district governor, 8 security forces personnel were also killed and over a dozen injured. And finally, the weather. Rain with wind, thunder showers is expected in upper and central Punjab, Islamabad, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, lower Sindh, northeast Balochistan, Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. However, hot and humid weather is expected elsewhere in the country. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.